In my quest to find substitutes for soft wax when sealing chalk paint furniture, I found something I like a lot, and these are the results here. I actually like this more than the soft wax. So here's what I did. Danish oil is typically used to seal wood with nothing on it. So it's a sealant, and it can also be like a permanent top coat. From using it on wood, I knew that it was something that once it dried, it had no waxy residue to it, and it is more potent than wax in that you have to wear gloves to use it. But the results are that you don't have the soft wax residue, and it's not sensitive to temperature. Danish oil is the consistency of oil, so I just take a t-shirt rag, whatever kind of rag you want to use, and rub on a light coat of this stuff. I'm wearing gloves because, well, in the picture they're not wearing gloves, but I'm wearing gloves. I figure if it says it has a combustible vapor, that gloves sound like a good idea to me. So just rub on a light coat all over your furniture. This table will take about 5 minutes to do that, so I'll do the rest of this off camera and come back to the next step. I let this dry overnight. It would have been ready at 4 hours since it's summertime. If it's winter, you would need 8 hours, but I went overnight with it. So you can see it's got a lot of shine to it. So that shine won't be there in a few minutes. In a few minutes it will be nicely distressed. So I'll show you how to do it. I like to use between 120 and 180 grit sandpaper. For this I'm going to use a sanding sponge because I like the way that it does on the top. I'm sanding with the grain because that's how I generally like to do all my furniture. So I'm just going to go along the top with the grain. You can use regular sandpaper on the top too. I just like the way that looks. And on the edges I'm going to use this because it's a heavier grit sandpaper. Sanding sponges, these edges right here are good for getting down in cracks too, crevices. And the drawers, I'm going to sand with the grain across that way. All right, I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera and we'll come back and take a look at it. I thought this was interesting. This is what came off the table using the Danish oil when I distressed it. It's just way different than the normal stuff that comes off when you wax and sand a table. There's some grass in there too. Also, my hand is not nearly as dirty as it is when I usually wax. It's totally black and waxy, and I have to go wash it off. So this tells me that there will be less wax and paint potentially rubbing off later. I've been doing a lot of research on what is in products that seal chalk paint. So that is how I'm making these decisions as to what to try over the chalk paint. So I want to see if water kind of beads up on this like it does wax on a car, which it totally does. That's what it looks like when a car is freshly waxed. That's pretty cool. Well, besides the fact that it beaded up and cleaned off well, there is absolutely no black residue on the paper towels, which is not the case for wax. As a matter of fact, let's go test that theory. This is clear wax over chalk paint, so let's give this a little bit of water. beads up nicely. Let's see how it cleans up. Clean. Okay. A little bit. Shouldn't be any, but there is some. And I know this is clean because I cleaned it before I came back and put the water on it just to make sure there was no dirt. So there you go. Danish oil does not leave a residue on a paper towel when you clean it. So that says a lot. I gotta say, I'm really liking the Danish oil. Danish oil is made to seal and penetrate and protect wood, so the chalk paint is porous just as the wood, so that is probably why it soaks down in there and does this. And I just think it looks awesome. So there we go, Danish oil on chalk paint. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and check back often. I put up new videos all the time. Thank you.